Howdy folks, it's episode 83 of my blind RS3 Ironman playthrough. 2 quests in this one, Chef's Assistant, which is really fast, and then Curse of the Black Stone, which is going to take forever because I have to do all 3 elite dungeons, and I record most of them. Let's get to it. Alright, this is a momentous occasion. I have made it through all of my primal fruit pulp. That did take like 30 hours or something. I've been working on it for weeks at this point. It's my last batch of 4, and then I'll probably never do it ever again. I know I said I was just going to wait and get 120 herb lore, but I kind of want it to be over with so I don't have to worry about doing herby werby or anything. I still have like 2.7 million XP to go, but that should be doable via, you know, making Vuln bombs and the like over the course of the next few weeks. 687,000 primal extract. Good lord. I had to scramble. Did not have OBS open. 104 mining from sandstone. This is really slow, you guys. I guess it's going to probably fund my AFK all the way until I finish the quest cape, possibly, maybe. But I've been at this forever. I can't tell you how many hours it's been. I'm like just now about 24% of the way there. Jeez, it's slow. Okay, so I'm about halfway done with this sandstone grind for the Blessed Flask. It's time for me to do quests. I'm coming up on this Curse of the Black Stone. I want to see if I can do the ambassador before doing the quest, just so I don't have to run the entire dungeon multiple times to fight him again. I probably can't, but I have substantially better like stats and options now than what I had before. So one of the things I'm going to do is I'm going to make some overload potions, which I've never done. I don't want to make a ton, just enough to attempt this boss a couple times. So I have to look into what goes into that. Okay, so I think it's these potions and a Torstol, and that's the whole thing. Okay, that gives me 1 overload. I guess in the future I want to try to like combine that with like the factory outfit and the like. I'm not going to stress about it right now. I just want to have enough to actually attempt the boss, you know. Annoyingly, we need an overload 4 to make a supreme overload potion, and that only makes an overload 3. So I want to get 4 of these so that I have 12, so it's divisible by 4. Okay, I actually don't know that I have enough doses of extreme potions here. I might actually just barely be able to fit it. Let me give it a shot. Alright, so I've got 3 overload 4s, so now I need super attack 4, super defense 4, super strength 4, super ranging 4, magic 4, and necromancy 4 in a crystal flask. So I think I can make most of those. I can do ranging, attack. I think I don't have necromancy, and I think making necromancy potions is kind of a pain in the ass. There's one of many FOMO things in RuneScape 3 where it's like if you made all of your overloads before the release of necromancy, you're like good to go. But if you didn't, you're SOL, and it's substantially more work now to make them. I have to figure out where to go do that. I think it requires congealed blood, which is kind of a pain in the ass to get. And so I had some congealed blood banked. I'm gonna have to go get a ton more later. Okay, I got an extra dose, and I saved some stuff there, so that's good. Okay, so that's all set up now. So now I just have to go get a crystal flask. I think I can just glass blow a crystal flask using my crystal flecked sandstone, right? There we go. So we do 2 crystal flasks, then we mix potion, and that's a supreme overload. It's definitely a substantial enough hassle that I'm not going to be enjoying making these. I guess that's why you wait till 120 herb lore, because it just gets you a lot of extra potions and saves the amount of time you have to spend on it. I'm going to have to do it if I do any amount of PVM at the end of this playthrough. So I guess I ended up saving an overload potion, which means I've got an extra bank slot that I don't have space for. And I think I can turn these into elder overloads now. And I think making an elder overload is substantially less annoying. It's a fell stock, which I have tons of, lifetime supply basically, and primal extract, which, believe me, do I have a lifetime supply. Literally just this elder overload. Yeah, the elder overload step is essentially just free, so that's cool. So that's 12 doses, which each last 6 minutes each, so probably enough to tell if it feels like I might be close to beating the ambassador in my current state. I really am not looking forward to attempting this, but you know, it's worth trying, I guess. I might actually be able to make Elder Overload salves, which also have like a prayer renewal effect, which would, you know, save me some inventory space for this attempt. So I will try to do that. If we're only doing it once, it's likely tolerable. Yeah, I got the stuff together to make the Elder Overload salve here. Here we go. I think that's as good as it gets. 6 minutes, stat changes are static. Recover prayer points, renew prayer points, remove poison, grant immunity to poison. Okay, that seems pretty helpful. Okay, I'm not feeling confident about this at all. I just want to see if the addition of like the Power Burst of Vitality and Disruption Shield and the fact that I have Ancient Curses now really makes a big enough difference for me to get past the Spinners phase, because lately I haven't been able to get past the Spinners phase at all. Last time I attempted this, I didn't have Ancient Curses, I didn't have Soul Split, I didn't have Sorrow, I didn't have a lot of tools. So I'm probably going to lose, but I at least want to see how bad it is so I can be better prepared for next time, I think is the idea. Yeah, so realistically, what I think is going to happen here is I'm going to get my ass beat. But I'm wondering if getting the 10% damage reduction from completing the quest is going to make a difference in the future. It almost certainly will. Pretty substantially reduce the amount of healing I have to do. And I think what's probably actually going to have to happen is I'm going to wait until I get the quest cape to really attempt him in earnest, because I'm going to need to get stuff like I have to do 4 global cooldowns to get all of my spirits out, and by the time I'm done, they're like already almost out of time remaining, right? Which I feel like that enough is a problem, and I need to complete some of these quests to get access to Conjure Undead Army to cast them all at once. But let's see how it goes. It's going to be a disaster. I'm not sure if Soul Split's a mistake over actually trying to protect against his attacks here, but I suppose we'll find out. Okay, so I can try this now, just to see how it goes. Sucks when it like almost dies. There's like nothing I can do about that when that happens. You have failed clenched. I was only able to do like 2 of them, and he's gonna kick my ass, so I'm just gonna warp out. Part of that is I was wasting global cooldowns and doing resummons there right as he came in. So yeah, I think I'm gonna have to get all these other upgrades to have a chance. And I also need to like not do Revolution, because I have to be able to manually cast Soul Strike to stun stuff. It was worth trying, I suppose. Mining 105. All right, well, I had a like 4-week buffer of RS3 videos, and the reason I have fallen behind on building my buffer is because of this damn Curse of the Black Stone quest, which during it requires you to complete all 3 elite dungeons, which I know you can do them in story mode and it's going to be easy, but I'm sure some of you understand the activation energy problem in RS3 or just RuneScape in general, right? Like sometimes something just sounds like a big attentive hassle and you don't want to do it. So I've been delaying getting back into questing, and I really need to do it because I'm running out of time now. So I guess just an update on the Sandstone project. I'm a little bit better than 75% of the way done here. So this is actually going to get done. I will make a Blessed Flask. But let me get my gear together for Chef's Assistant, which should be a pretty quick quest, it seems like. It's kind of like yet another sequel to Cook's Assistant. And then we'll do Curse the Blackstone. I'll get it over with. Quest actually requires a bunch of items. It needs a cake tin, pat of butter, pot of cream, pot of flour. I can get most of them from here. I already have a bucket of milk. You go get a steel bar and logs. Okay, I think I got everything together here. Chef's Assistant starts at the Cook's Guild. All right, talking to the head chef. Do you have any quests for me? Okay. Forgotten all about it. This only requires Cook's Assistant. Trying to make a really short quest sequel, I guess. Probably not. Discreet is my middle name. It's really interesting. I feel like they've made multiple spiritual successors to Cook's assistant. No lasting injuries. Adore food. Always nice to meet someone that enjoys their job. Tasty. Sure. Consider myself braced. Cheesecake. You say cheesecake? Oh, does cheesecake not exist in this world? Would you put cheese in a cake? Have you lost your mind? Take your time. Pull yourself together. Cream cheese. Philadelphia. Oh, Philadelphia. Okay. Gotcha. All right, off we go. All right, Delphi. Philadelphia cream cheese. How did you? Yeah, that recipe for months. Dairy turns out of action. Filling so many orders for cheesecake, the thing just fell to pieces. You've been making cheesecake? Or the dairy churn. All right. Logs and a steel bar. I already have those with me. Wow, how very efficient of you. Get to work then. I love all those gags. Guess we talk to her again. Well, that's okay. I just happen to have a bucket of milk with me. My, that is fortunate. What did you expect? Cream cheese. Okay. Got it. I don't want this cooking urn. Get out of here. Back to the head chef. Okay. Got your cream cheese. A lot of cream. Got some right here. And some biscuits. Fine flour and butter to make biscuit dough. Okay. So, flour and butter. Biscuit dough. Biscuits. That better not burn, because I am 99 cooking. I already have the cake tin. Good to go. I have to talk to him again. Just bung them all in? Don't just bung things in. Craft the cheesecake with love and care. I thought we were cooking. What? No, you don't cook cheesecake. Sorry, chef. There we go. Cheesecake. I guess cheesecake gives a little bit of prayer recovery. That's interesting. Can't you take it yourself? What if someone wants to buy a skill cape? I see. Okay. That's Sergeant Ramsay and Taverley, the cook in the Lumbridge Castle kitchen, Jolly Boar Inn. All right. All right, Master Sergeant Ramsay.
Oh, what happened to the meat I've been stuck?
All right, this whole place is voice acted, isn't it? It's raw and delicious. Okay. Lumbridge chef. And the chef. Who'd have thought to combine cream cheese and biscuits? Banana bread? Don't be ridiculous. You can't mix two random foods and hope to make something delicious. And the last one was Varrock. Okay. This last one. All right, that's a quick quest. I think I just turned it in now. All right. Everyone loved the cheesecake. I'm not going to address the Philadelphia. I've already been making it. All right. And chef's assistant is yet another spiritual successor to cook's assistant. We've got a lot of them in RS3 now. You're making cheesecake. That's it. It's a pretty short quest, like cook's assistant. It has a bunch of good gags about how like cheesecake didn't exist in this world until this quest. It's nice to see Jagex spending resources on a quick, stupid quest like this. I like this kind of thing. But there's not too much else to say about it. You make a cheesecake for the guy at the Chef's Guild. That's it. Exactly what I expected it to be. Curse of the Black Stone. Let's go. Good lord, Curse of the Black Stone has a ton of for full comprehension quests. Bliskay's endgame and everything it requires. Pieces of Hate, everything it requires. But they're not actually required to do the quest, just impressing the locals, apparently. All right, I'm getting the required items here. The wiki actually says I also need a pat of butter, so I'm going to grab that. Okay, Brill Foxdaughter. It's the end of the world. Or will be if we don't stop it. Okay. We're following up the obsidian from Pieces of Hate, but taking it seriously this time. Sure. Great. Jade Spider. Okay. Short on Wyco. That's why we have the Arc Journal, I guess. Does it give me more specific instructions? Shopkeepers in Wyco. Okay. All right, so there's a bunch of shopkeepers over here. Don't know who exactly they want me to talk to here. Jade Spider. Anyone mention it? Okay. A lovely opal caterpillar. By the fountain. Okay, well, that's where we are right now. Torts are us. Built the humane way of harvesting that we need without causing permanent damage. Okay. Southern part of the town square. Well, that's where we are. They'll hear you. Spies everywhere. Friend on Whale's Maw. Okay. So, Whale's Maw. I guess what they're doing here is they're trying to create a story context for the elite dungeons, which is kind of cool. They did this with Night of the Theater in old school RuneScape, which still don't really know how I feel about that. I think it's probably good that they have a story context setting up one of their raids, but I don't know, I was kind of underwhelmed by that quest in general. It had a couple neat parts that lead into the dungeon, but mostly it's just do a dungeon and we're going to call that a quest, you know? Don't think there are terribly many actual interactable NPCs here other than the Sea Witch lady, so I'm going to try talking to her. She's like up here somewhere, I think. Forced to bury near the turtles. Okay, what do we mean by near the turtles? On Will's Maw. Okay, so literally like over here somewhere. Here? It was more sand somehow piled into a crown-like shape. Curse you, cruel fate. Fate mocks your fury. It's funny. Oh, there's a bunch of these, I see. Suggestive of what is up to your imagination. Done with turtle hunting. Am I supposed to be able to do one of these? Oh, one of these I can check. Okay. Okay. It's an infection running through the ark. A sinister cult has grown in popularity. Well, my friend, the oyster is open. They're too late. All right. Yeah. Going to every island. Got it. I don't know who I'm talking to here. Jade Spider? Yes, they never tell you anything. Okay. Yay? They do that. Crazy guy? That would make sense if it's the crazy guy. The pearl is black. Goshima. Oh, it prompted me when I was traveling if I wanted to search for the Jade Spider, so I assume I'm on like a... Yeah, there's Crassian guys here. Okay. It's like an instance version of this island. And I can't surge. Alright, you probably don't need to see me kill all these guys. I'll report back if any events happen. 1 out of 12, okay. Alright, it's the last one. Coming from the gate, okay. I don't think I got to come back here last time. Interesting. Place seems kind of unfinished, though. Oh, hey, Madam Shi. Back from Pieces of 8. Really weird this doesn't require Pieces of 8. There's a being called the Ambassador, an ancient creature in service of something dark and terrible. Okay, the final boss from Pieces of Hate. Or the big tentacle hand thing. Okay. Go do the Temple of Amanishi. Any mode, so I can just do it in story mode, which should make it pretty easy, but let me go deposit all my stuff here. All right, so you've seen me do the first part of Amanishi. I've killed basically everything in the first room a bunch of times trying to farm for dungeoneering tokens, so I won't make you watch that, but as soon as I get past the first room, I'll start recording again. Okay, so I annoyingly have to discard the progress made in the Shadow Reef, so I'm going to have to do the Shadow Reef for a third time at some point in the future, but I guess now I'm going to defer that until I'm done with the Questscape story mode. Yeah, so I think literally on story mode, it's supposed to be super trivial. I guess we'll see, though. It's hard to say with the wiki. The wiki makes some things out to be much more doable than they actually are practically. Oh, yeah, these guys don't hurt at all. Okay, never mind. I think we're fine. I was forgetting something. I forgot to bring ectoplasm. Let me grab some real quick here. It's interesting that they're connecting Siryu into the RuneScape lore, but not the other, like, directional deities, right? I played a Korean MMO when I was a kid that was all about, you know, the black turtle, the white tiger, the red phoenix, and the blue dragon. Yeah, I wonder if they originally planned to adapt all four of them and just ended up doing Siryu and that's it, or mini bosses can still spawn in here. That's interesting. Assuming they give, like, no tokens in story mode, otherwise people would just do this in story mode. They're comparably annoying to fight, but they don't hurt you at all is the idea. They just take a while to kill. $500 dungeoneering tokens. Okay. I don't know what I'm actually required to kill and what's skippable here, but I've killed everything in the main floor. Probably isn't necessary. Maybe this is the one thing I need to kill to progress. I don't think they count as a mini boss. And now this is all blind to me. We're past the first room. The Acolyte's Accord. Oh, freaky room full of dragons coming up. I guess it's probably easier for me to just record all of this and I'll try to edit. I don't know what is going to be interesting and what's not going to be interesting. I think most of it's not going to be interesting, to be honest. Looks like there's a boss all the way down there. This looks like a fairly large enemy. Probably just group all these guys up. Let's see how much it lets me, like, just carry them with me here. Looks like I need to group them all up. Trying to kill all of them to get through this door here. I guess we'll see if it's just the guys in front. Sanctum Guardian. Oh, it's a big Crassian. Okay, that's interesting. I didn't know that this tied in with the Crassians and Agaroth and all that. No idea if this guy has mechanics, and story mode's probably not the place to learn them. But this is a fairly big area. Don't stand in the purple? I have no idea. This would be a good sign to figure out whether story mode is still going to be a challenge when we do the ambassador. That's a pretty straightforward attack there. Probably could have moved slightly to the side to avoid taking some damage. The attack he just did with the purple smoke is pretty similar to something that the ambassador does. Oh, it's literally... Okay. Well, that's kind of cool if the ambassador is building on mechanics from previous bosses. Still has a lot of health, it seems like. I think the way that works is like it has like a countdown and then it drops the thing on the ground, so you have to be careful where you drop it. Alright, that was kind of cool. What a victory fanfare. Alright, keep going deeper. I'm going to try to just avoid killing stuff here. Rando enemies are not terribly interesting. We've got mages with Crassians. I think I just have to kill stuff at these walls, it looks like. Just running through this area, nothing particularly interesting to see. Doesn't super surprise me that this is their first, like, World of Warcraft style dungeon. Just a lot of enemies without particularly exciting placement. I think the third one is pretty good, ED3. Big room with water fiends? Oh, that's supposed to be part of Siriu. That's really cool, if so. Really cool looking room. I don't know when the Dawn skybox got turned on. Probably isn't intended. Yeah, okay. That makes a little bit more sense. I think they've set it up so that if you just want to rush the bosses, there's only like a couple actual areas where there's groups of enemies. Like whenever you see these little walls, it's like 3 enemies you have to kill and you can skip basically everything else. Probably should be running my AoE setup here, but I figure the boss is going to require a single target, and that's the more annoying thing. You just keep summoning Crassians forever, it seems like. Treasure chest. Suta the Ascended. A clone, it looks like. Like a spin to win thing. Probably shouldn't be standing in. Okay. Purple crap. You don't want to stand in. It's a warning of a place to not be standing later in the fight, it seems like. Here you gives us power. Can attack the thrashing water. Okay. He takes reduced damage while those things are out, seems like. Oh, he spawns a bunch from all over the place. Only take damage again when they're all taken out? Question mark. It seems to just be able to keep spawning them. Worried that I don't have the DPS to kill them all here. I assume I do. There we go. A little annoying, but doable. Close to execution range, I think. Below 30,000. There we go. Hidden staircase. That seems bad. Probably supposed to be able to stand somewhere where these don't do so much damage to me all at once. Kill them all relatively safely. Oh wow, Siriu looks really good. I think Siriu shows up to help you in the ambassador fight, but We got there once when I was doing it with K5 Josh, if I recall correctly. There must be some way to not have these guys hit you if they're damaging me pretty hard when it's 90% damage reduction, right? Maybe it's like protection prayers fully negate the damage or something under normal circumstances. Whoa. Cool looking. Are you the Azure Serpent? It's all like bound, okay. As far as I can tell, I can only target him. Huge breath. I don't know if that's avoidable. Well, maybe it's partially avoidable. Oh, he was like 3.8 million health? Okay, so you must not have to actually get him down to 0. Samanishi. Gotta go inside this, I assume. Oh, hey. Makes it sound like I'm supposed to do something with this. I'm not going to read the wiki until I fail here. Jump to the shackle platform, maybe? Oh, I see. Attack the black crystals. I see. That's cool. This thing is spawning bullshit while I'm trying to destroy these crystals. Oh, it's healing the crystals. Okay. When they get close to me, maybe? I need to alternate between DPSing the crystals and trying to fight the little slimes is the idea. Okay, I think I get it for next phase. Story mode's cool. At least I can like figure it out without having to read a wiki article first. I might actually be able to learn the ambassador fight then if it's going to be similar to this. I do like the choice of having him have like a comical health value, but that's not actually what we're doing here, you know? How low I have to get him to be able to trigger this phase transition. Okay. Jump immediately this time. This thing didn't get to heal, so that's good. Got one of them. I think we need to get down and stop these things from getting close. I don't have a lot of health, so be able to take them out relatively quickly. I get the ones in the back so as not to waste time with the ones already getting to the front. They're enough to fully heal. It did fully heal the crystal. Okay. If I can't completely take them out, then it's kind of pointless to try, it seems like. It would have been better to just stay up here and DPS through it if I wasn't able to do it down there right away. Because this is where it would be great to have multiplayer, so you've got some allies who can kill the slimes. This fight has a bit of a responsiveness problem. Like, it takes a long time to jump from the top down to the bottom to fight these things again, you know? Yeah. It's gonna suck, actually, to be able to get enough DPS to kill it and not have to do another phase of this. I do think that the general non-responsiveness of RuneScape 3 is a big part of my problem with the game. We're trying to do cool World of Warcraft style content like this. If you've played a lot of this game, you might not even know what I'm talking about. It just generally feels like whenever you go to do something that it happens like substantially later than when you click. That's true in old school RuneScape too, but old school RuneScape doesn't have the weirdness of EOC, like adding to the feeling that things aren't really working the way they're supposed to, or that they're operating on a weird delay. I think I'll be able to kill one before the slimes get out. But then I'll have to have a plan. Oh, I'm gonna have to kill it fast here, shit. I think I'm just gonna DPS through the slimes this time so that the health can be lower. Shit. Well, I guess it doesn't matter because it takes them forever to get there. I'll have to do another cycle, but whatever, it's fine. I do think it's smart to have him have so much HP, so you're forced to notice these crystals here. But okay, that can't be what they intend me to do, right? Just standing there and waiting for it to end. Don't see slimes yet. Get it? Okay. No, he doesn't have the red eyes anymore. That's cool. Level 10,000. Be best not to interrupt him. You're welcome. Seems like a much cooler dragon than basically every other dragon in the RuneScape world. Yeah, sure. Oh, is it the Black Stone Dragon from the second dungeon? I've never been in that one. I pass on that Reaper task basically every day. That it? Should go somewhere else? I guess I have to Google what it wants me to do next. Hold on. Oh, it just says I'm done. Okay, go speak to Madame Show. I was like, is there something else I have to do in, like, the dungeon? It's like, apparently the answer is no. Alright, we good? One of the sacred anima guardians. How dare they? She seems a little too serious to have been in Pieces of Hate. Okay. And somebody knows about Dragonkin? Oh, Mr. Morda. Okay, 1 second. Here's the door. Funny that he's a serious character. In laboratories. A white-skilled alchemist. Carapac? Okay. Right. Hemenheim. Back to Brill, I guess. Mountain in the ruins. Oh, down here, I see. Might have too many of these rock tails here. Two oval indentations where the eyes should be. Fireplace. Great right eye. Let's see. Quest requires a high level. Oh my god, it doesn't require crafting at all. It requires 12 agility and 34 woodcutting. I feel like this quest needs to be like insanely high requirements. Whatever. It's fine. RS3. Mechanism moving to the west. Don't actually know what they're talking about. Oh, up here yeah, Karapak was up here a while ago. That makes sense. Or if the player only recognizes what it is if you've done the requisite quest. Oh, Hannibus. Hannibus supposed to be here? Yeah, okay, I was gonna say. Well, I guess there was a canon ending to that quest and I didn't take it. They really... Player choice was a mistake in this game. Well, that's gibberish. You communicate based on vibes. What if they intended to have me do a puzzle there and cut it? Because it's like, oh, let me see. Okay, I put it together, but I can't read it. In the dungeon where metal dragons are made. As I say, it's probably this, since it told me to bring the Dungeoneering cape. No, it wouldn't be here because the quest doesn't require any levels in Dungeoneering. So there must be something else near here. Wiki says north of this room, there's another entrance. Okay. Oh. This? Adamant Dragon Dungeon. Huh. Adamant Dragons are somewhere else in OSRS. Evil place. Dead adamant dragons. I feel like they wouldn't actually send me to this place if it was supposed to be dangerous given the low requirements for this quest. Talk to adamant dragon. It's just there. Granny's here. Granny will keep you safe. Who took them? Can you focus? Okay. Don't know what they want me to do down here. Guess I'm still looking for a tablet somewhere. Metal dragon eggs. There must be some other useful room. Bronze smelter, iron smelter. Cockroach wearing a top hat. Okay. Staff of Armadillo, only it isn't. The twig attached to an angry weasel, you argue about immigration policies, no one wins? Pretty easy to win that argument. Immigration is good, actually. That'll solidified over something. Whoever wants to talk to me. Can I use that with Hannibus? No. What do we do now? Oh, is the dragon getting melted for me? Yo. Yeah, can you heat this metal? Baby's cold, warm her up. Okay, metallic object heated. What am I doing with that? And we can do to make it brittle. I have no idea. I'm gonna look it up. Wiki says with a rope in the backpack, investigate a pit. Okay. This part of the quest is a little weird, I'll be honest. Break it on something. Dragon head. Okay. This is very weird. I feel like there's a special quality to a good goofy Monkey Island adventure game puzzle where it doesn't feel like completely arbitrary. There's like some kind of like pun or something at the heart of it. Take it back to the lab at Demonheim. Okay. Back here. Doing. Stuffed in effigy shells. Arg, it talks. No, but seriously, what are you doing here? Looking for clues. They've been getting effigies for a long time and haven't really gotten the context on what their deal is. Okay. Fragment. Oh. I really like that purple effect. I have no idea what I'm... Okay. More of these statues around, I guess. Oh, is this like a... Some of them turn things on and some of them turn them off situation? All right, well, there's another statue here, but that seems to suggest I'm done, so I don't get it, but I'll go check it out. Okay, enter portal. Cutscene. Carapac's looking fancier. Is this when they gave him a new model? I think he still had the shitty old model in Sasuke's endgame. Here. Carapac, you're looking great, bud. Old laboratory of mine, the home of some of my greatest experiments and my greatest mistakes. Oh, I guess I feel stupid for not making this connection, but it's the black stone dragon. It's a dragon made out of this obsidian stuff. Eastern wilderness. Okay. Talk to Brill first. Sounds safe. Good luck, try not to die. I don't know if I need dragon fire protection, if it's like a big dragon dungeon. Get up real quick. Looks like anti-fire is a problem, so I'll bring this guy. I guess I hope that's enough. Maybe I'll bring a regular anti-fire too. Should cover me. I might still have a phoenix feather left over. Yeah. Oh, it's only a 3. God damn it. I'll just do the regular one. It's not a big deal. Okay, I've never been here before. I'm sure I can use like a minigame group teleport to get here, but I'd rather just walk here. It's been so long since I was having to use that minigame teleport to get to Nemi Forest every day. And I haven't done that in like over a year. I think we just find somewhere to go in here. Okay, yeah, there's the treasure chest. There's Brill. Enter Dragonkin Laboratory. So I haven't seen this one at all. So I'll probably just, I guess I'm just going to do the same thing where I'm just going to record constantly. And hopefully in editing, I'll just cut out boring combat and keep in when I'm talking. Look at the place, it's kind of cool. I like the skybox a lot. I really need to switch to AoE build at some point, I think. Can't tell if these guys are like duplicating. It's not. See how bad it is running without Dragonfire protection just for regular combat here. Maybe these guys aren't really dangerous right now because I'm in story mode and they would like do Dragonfire burns if I was in normal mode. But yeah, I'm getting a U managed to resist some of the Dragonfire. I don't know if there's like anywhere I have to go to like pull a switch to progress, or it's literally just run every time you see a little portal, keep running up to that point. Celestial dragons. Don't think that guy is a mini boss. I think it would show on the map if he was. Light bends around the celestial dragon as it manipulates time. Was causing it to heal there? That's kind of cool. Okay. 4 of them through here. Guessing I don't have to fight all of them. I have to fight all these guys, though. Maybe you can stun that to prevent it. Perhaps. An actual mechanic. That's cool. Yeah, it looks like you do stun it. Okay. Maybe that'll come up in a boss fight or something, so they're trying to teach it now. See another treasure chest there, which seems to suggest we're coming up on a boss soon. Astelarn? Celestial Dragon, maybe? Yoke. Looks. Assume this guy also needs to be stunned occasionally if they're going to teach me the boss mechanics in advance here. Take your reality for granted. Shows me as a wormhole anchor. Wow, wormhole. That's cute. Neutron star is drawn towards you. I draw it into the wormhole, probably. I really like wormhole. That's pretty funny. Getting in this looks like it might be a good thing, but it's hard to say. Giving me a damage boost or something. Your attacks against Aslan are boosted, yeah. The fact that it's white and went from black made it seem like that was a good thing. Yeah, I like this dungeon so far. It's pretty sight readable. Pretty clear what the game wanted from me without having to tell me or me having to read the wiki. Alright, that was cool. Going. So far this one feels quite a bit better than Temple of Eminishi. There's less unnecessary stuff. This is something that it took a while for the Final Fantasy XIV developers to realize, but they eventually kind of put together that unnecessary content in dungeons is lame for a couple of reasons. It's like, kind of just means that it's a barrier to entry for groups playing together, that you just have to know which trash you're intended to fight or not fight, and it's room for players to be toxic. If I recall correctly, was it Ulduar in Wrath of the Lich King was one of the first dungeons I did in, I guess it's a raid actually, in World of Warcraft, where there's very minimal trash, and you have to, any trash that exists you have to deal with. There's no trash skipping. And they didn't really keep that going forward into modern dungeons. They still have, you know, dungeons that are just full of bullshit. Guess you can make the argument that optional trash adds like a skill cap, but I think for multiplayer content it's just frustrating. It gets people to be toxic towards each other. Wonder if you need that. You probably do not need the Slayer level to kill these lava strike worms, do you? That would be the real RuneScape thing to do. Have a dungeon that has like a level 97 or whatever level, I think they're like 95 or something, high level Slayer monster that you have to be able to fight to get through. That's how Chambers of Xeric does it. Guess there's more unnecessary trash in this area, it seems like. Is this place like, is the wilderness? Are we just like inside the volcano, I guess? Like this place seems huge to just be in a little corner of the wilderness. I like that this one doesn't seem to have a bunch of zone transitions, at least so far. Temple of Aminishi felt very messy. It reminds me of some of the really messy early Final Fantasy XIV dungeons. Okay, well, this must be the next boss. I must have to kill all these dragons to get to it. What's the penalty for not doing autocollect? I hate that. Give me the quality of life upgrade or don't. It doesn't matter because I'm doing story mode, but still. Is that not enough to open this? I don't see anything else in the area that I need to kill. I guess I can kill these spiders. Still closed. Onyx dragons. Maybe we can open that later. We come back to that later. Probably don't need to fight all these guys then. I need to fight Lava Strike Worms at some point, because I think you use the stuff they drop to make aggression potions. I just haven't had any kind of farming content that has really needed aggression potions. We get to Shadow Reef, I won't even bother recording it until the Ambassador, because you've already seen me run through it before. Music here is pretty good. Always going to have a mild prejudice against RS3 music, because since it's not using like a preset set of sound fonts, right, every song sounds like it's from a completely different game. Some of them are fully orchestral, some of them are very synth heavy, some of them have electric guitar or whatever. Pass over this or something. Egg Pile Shock. Egg Pile Ice. Egg Pile Poison. Okay. Eggs are moving slightly. Spire here. I want to explicitly not destroy that so I can hide behind it. Oh, the energy from the spires protects Veraglith from damage. Poison ricochets off you and high in the air. Okay, so I want to stand near that. This fight is loud as fuck. Do you think RS3 really has problems with sound balance? Like, sometimes sound effects stack on top of each other, sometimes enemies make a sound every time a GCD hits them, which is ridiculous. Oh, dive bomb, that's cool. Literally like a dive bomb in World of Warcraft or Final Fantasy XIV. Spires are a little lame as a mechanic. Eggs must do something, right? I didn't get to see all the mechanics with this guy, but I feel like I get the general gist of it. Okay, that's cool. Now we just gotta go all the way back. Pick it. Assume there's some kind of mechanic where you can like try to get the different attacks to land on these or something. Or seems like it's still not open. I'm not sure what they want from me next. Head over in that direction, but I might have to look it up here in a second. Oh, it went away when I got closer. Okay. Kinds of... Dremstone dragons? Dragonstone dragons. That's funny. Horribly burnt by the dragon fire. Okay, start to use these then. It looks like even the effect of that is reduced by 90%. Attack reduces your immunity. That's pretty annoying. Don't like that. All Onyx or Dragonstone dragons, right? Oh, Hydrix dragons, wow. Might end up needing to kill these Hydrix dragons. They don't follow me into the boss arena. Oh, everything is aggroed me right now. Attack drains my adrenaline. Rude. Try to ignore them for now. Black Stone Dragon. Okay, I didn't let the enemies in. I'm gonna go ahead and use this flask. Okay. here now because I will it. Oh, these fucking things again. Think I'm damaging it? Okay, I see the health die to zoom out. I guess now I know what these hands are, because the hands also come up in a phase of the ambassador fight that I only got to one time with K5 Josh. They really went hard into this after Pieces of Hate, huh? One of the most, like, substantial lore quests. I wonder if it was just a problem of, like, after all the Sliske's game crap, they're, like, forgot how to do non-serialized fiction. I do appreciate that about old school, that they're able to kind of just jump around from episodic story to episodic story. Okay. You banished it. Did banish it. Tell me how. I attacked it a bunch. Penalty for standing in the circle. There's like a spiral, I guess. It's kind of a cool attack pattern, actually. What are we doing here? It's the... Oh, rude. I think I happened to luckily dodge that last time. Farting now? I understand. Really just don't stand in this and run. Old school RuneScape already has the problem where the combat system feels constantly delayed because of the tick system, but here it's like there's a bunch of other things conspiring to make the combat feel mushy when you're having to like run constantly from attacks like this. Feels fine in something like the Corrupted Gauntlet. I'm just going to stand and eat it because dodging it is annoying. And DPS more efficiently if I just eat it. Like this boss is less interesting than Suryu was, but pretty good, I suppose. Thank you, he says. You're welcome. Just leave now. Or Madam Shi. Oh, back on Goshima, okay. Oh, the cutscene started playing as soon as I got here. Oh, hey, it's the Ambassador. What's up, buddy? Quest said there was partial voice acting. He has good voice acting. I like this voice acting in Shadow Reef. But I haven't heard any so far, so that's weird. Okay. You go and talk to Brill. All right. Okay, talking to Brill. He's like a super Crassian is the idea. That's our context for him. Super Crassian who works for Cthulhu. Yog Sothoth. Oh yeah, Myrtle. Oh, there's an actual story reason why I'm allowed to breathe in Shadow Reef. I guess this quest came out at the same time as Shadow Reef. It's funny. I guess it would be nice if you actually had to use prior methods. I suppose we are now that it's making me go get this, but whatever. All right, can you help me go underwater? Especially after you helped me with my mentor. Not required for this quest. Can't join you near the cursed Belgo because of reasons. Small catch. No, send me to the far-flung corners of the world. It's my favorite thing. Okay. Use a teleporter into swap places with the target fish. What are we doing here? I'm sure I understand. It's about that fish. Okay. Mentioned going to a clear winds of winter, dried under a divine blinding light. So like Ice Mountain question mark? Like here? Ah, okay. Cute. And then I guess I have to Google the other thing. I have no idea what they're talking about. Divine blinding light. Oh, it's the Abbey near Al-Kharid. Okay. There's supposed to be divine blinding light here? Guess so. Okay. Ocean of water breathing. Just drink it now. Now I can just breathe underwater. And I guess I like the idea of permanently unlocking the ability to dive underwater. It's nice that it requires us to go talk to Myrtle, but then it should require Beneath Cursed Tides, right? We going back to Demonhine, talk to Hannibus. Okay, Hannibus. King Black Dragon. Right? I like King Black Dragon. Just this entrance over here, the artifact. I do like that he's just like chill to talk to us, even though I kill him all the time. It's so annoying that they just ignore your choice in one of a kind. Like, yeah, whatever, he's back now, it's fine. Back to Mr. Mordeau. Hey. It's really stupid that Hannibus is in this quest. I'll complain about it in the summary. This is the second time they've picked a really stupid canon choice for a quest that they shouldn't have given you a moral choice in the first place. Oh, Vindicta. That's cute. Heart of Gielinor. Okay, I think I have a teleport for that. Meet with Vindicta. Hey, what's up? There are no other dragon riders on Gielinor, only me. Born to Morvanan. My egg was rescued by Gorvek when she was slain. I am your father. You think they brought Hannibus back just to have this scene? They are making the ambassador out to be this really epic fight, which is kind of cool. I do like, you know, the building a team, going around the world and getting different characters from unrelated quests to help out. Okay. Back to Brill? Two of them? Yay. Bosun Higgs? What are we talking about? Quartermaster Gully? Okay. Stephen the Seagull. He has to tell his wife and kids he loves them. Alright, back to Waiko. Aside from some annoying things, I think this is a better quest than Night at the Theater. Like, I think it ties things together a little bit better, and at least kind of feels like we're building up to something instead of just having some arbitrary fetching to do before just do a run of Theater of Blood. Not terrible, but the Hannibus stuff is pretty annoying. So we just talk to him again here. Oh, I don't know where. Do I have a marker for it? I'll look it up. Northeast corner, top of the northernmost rock pillar. Okay, so like all the way up there. Back to Steven. A lot more going on in this part of the quest than in the first two parts. Hello, Mrs. Steven. I moved on, Steven. I'm seeing another gull. Hey, coppin' ploppin'. Nice. Sure, we can save your marriage, Stephen. This is pretty silly, but I like this part. Look around the island for evidence I can use to save Stephen's marriage. Okay. Okay, so I have to find other seagulls to talk to on the island, like this one over here. Gotcha. How dare you mention his name in my presence? I'm a copy of Bird Spotting Monthly. I'll get another copy about a month? Yes. Okay. 1 out of 6 pieces of evidence against the count. Another one over here. I can get to him. He's my boyfriend. Okay. He steals all the best bits of bread. First, the soggy bits. One on a crate over here. Making tea, puts the milk in first. The horror. I missed one coming over here. Breaks down in floods of tears. In the sobs, you can make out the words whistle, rabbit costume, and disco. Seagull seems utterly distraught about this. I think I see the last one over here. Killed my brother. In league with him, conspiracy. Okay. Okay, back to Steven. I shall visit more often. I love you, wife. The healing can begin now. Okay. I like that section. It was pretty silly. Talking to Gully again here. Maybe. Cool to maybe die for me now. I feel like that whole section was written by somebody else. The rest of the quest is kind of morose. I guess there's been a couple slightly goofy things. Need soldiers. Okay. Let me go get my archaeology set real quick. The more useful teleports in the game because this place is really annoying to get to otherwise. Let's destroy the outfit after that. In here somewhere. Evie sent me. The fate of Gielinor is at stake. It's always at stake. Oh. Yeah, okay, that's a pretty big one. Tessa... Black Knight's Fortress. Okay, I guess I'm gonna have to come back here again later, so I shouldn't have deleted the outfit, but... Well, I used the Skull of Remembrance to get here, and now I'm finding that was a mistake. I should just come to... teleported to Edgeville. I think I have to go all the way to the west somewhere. Armor stand... Black Knights... Tessa's suit of armor. Wait, is this not what I'm supposed to be doing here? Oh, speak to the guard of the entrance. I really shouldn't have taken this call of remembrance. That was pointless. Just gonna go ahead and get rid of it here. Failed the training. Okay. No, don't attack them. Hey, what in Gielinor? What? Who's gonna be upset? Radiant Angel, Pinnacle of Beauty, Lady Tessa. How is a suit of armor talking? You're just a suit of flesh and you're talking. That's good. Yeah, I feel like this entire section, the section beginning after the first two Elite Dungeons, is written by somebody else. It's got a little bit more levity to it. Don't worry, my sentient helm friend. Okay. slave here. Are you Tessa? Okay. Bletchley failed several female recruits despite their outstanding performance. Why did you just tell me this? Tongue was removed. Holy shit. That's fucked up. Kind of dark. Yeah, she's a slave. Okay. Back to the fortress. So apparently I have to get the suit of armor here. I feel like the goofy talking suit of armor doesn't really tie up with the a woman had her tongue cut out and was forced into slavery. And I guess it's possible to balance those tones, but Tessa's soulbound armor. Get rid of those manacles. Pick the lock. Do all the Black Knights have talking armor? This is so weird. Like, it was fine at first until they added the, like, slavery cut out tongue part. Yes. You get to kill Bletchley. Oh, I didn't have to teleport here again. It's nice. Yoki. Main Crane's assistants. Deal with the commandant. All right, back we go. Get revenge on Bletchley here. Should go to the roof. Push him off the roof here. He seems like he deserves it. I think this part would have been fine. It would be a little weird paired up with the, you know, save a seagull's marriage sequence, but it probably shouldn't have had the talking suit of armor. Should have played it like really serious. I guess you can also skip this entire section by just lying to Lieutenant Crane with the Ring of Karos, which seems like one of the most evil things the RuneScape protagonist can do. Nice of them to keep teleporting us back here for people who don't have the archaeologist outfit. Yoki. Hey, talk to Brill. Got an army, a couple dragons, can breathe underwater, and a seagull's marriage has been repaired. Okay. I know of the danger. I'll take this one seriously. I don't think these guys really show up in the dungeon. At least if they did, I didn't remember. Gorvek and King Black Dragon are coming to help. It's crazy. That's nice. Is that it? Gotta run the dungeon now? Complete the Shadow Reef in any mode. Okay. Alright, you've already seen this, so I'm just gonna get through it as quickly as possible. I might not actually have time to do the whole thing, but I'll try to get as far as I can. I guess I'll report in on the bosses. Oh, that's funny. Bossy McBossface here is a recolor of the new Black Knight Titan from Gower Quest. Oh, I think this is the same dialogue he usually has. That's what they mean by the partial voice acting. How much easier this guy is if I can just ignore his attacks like that. And normally that hits really hard.
The pain will be far less than what you will face further in.
The Ambassador really is like comically more complicated than anything else in any of the other elite dungeons, including this elite dungeon. Like this Leviathan, obviously I'm playing it on story mode, so it's trivial, but even in the normal dungeon, it's very doable. So is the second boss, who's tricky but very doable, with 1/10 of like the resources that I have now, I would even say. Here we go. I think of the 3 dungeons, ED2 is my favorite layout for like the actual dungeon part. I think my favorite boss is the Celestial Dragon. I really like Siryu as a boss too. I'd have to see how like difficult it is. It would be interested to see if like the Ambassador is the one that's like 10 times harder than everything else for what feels like a little reason. It's kind of neat to have some of the enemies from ED1 show up here. That's cool. Okay, we're at boss 2, which to me is a really great balance of challenge for what they've established everywhere else in here.
So come mortal and add yourself to my collection.
This guy's tricky, and if you ignore the mechanics, you lose in normal mode, but he's not like... The Ambassador is 10 times harder than this guy. just based on the pure math, I think. I think this story mode is actually substantially easier than the other two story modes. At least the bosses in the other two story modes felt like they put up a much more substantial fight. See, this guy is supposed to be a dragonkin. See from his weird stance that they all have. There we go. Alright, just gotta do the ambassador now. Alright, I'm gonna try to do this with no food. Forgot to bring food in here, so we'll see how this goes.
So, you come to witness this great moment. To be present as his gaze is turned upon.
Heard a lot of this voice acting many, many times before.
To be one of the first, blessed by his black radiance. I can understand such dreams. Come then, shed your mortal form and rejoice.
Trying to get these stuns off is really annoying at times. Because I can just ignore it on story mode. Everything hits for nothing. Remember, there's somewhere I can stand when he shoots out the lasers initially.
Is but a candle in the darkness. I shall snuff it out.
We don't know how many of these I'm allowed to miss. Seems very likely that you lose your summons here. Like, I think he starts doing this about a minute after the fight starts, which is pretty annoying. Having trouble with the fragments on story mode, Jesus. Should be able to one-shot one of them with my, this thing, Death Grip. If I get the adrenaline to do it, I probably need to get like adrenaline potions or something for this stupid fight. I can Finger of Death one of them. Well, let's see how much two of them hurt for. $900 HP it looks like on this mode. Okay. I think you can trigger multiple spinners phases, which is the problem with trying to beat him with insufficient DPS, because it's like so hard to survive even one spinners phase, you know? I think I got it that time. It's like I have to start attacking it and then select the ability to stun it successfully.
You should surrender now.
I have to stand any of the bullshit here.
Pathetic one.
Hey, Siryu appears from the darkness.
Must you fight so hard to reduce all the world to
What's up, Siryu?
Are you not wearied by your weakness? So be it. If you will not rise, then you shall fall.
Okay, so now it's like I have to like block the some of these from reaching him, or they heal him, or they all heal him. I guess he immediately gets a heal at the start. It's kind of like I have to block the white ones. Black ones just do damage to me, and there's nothing I can do about it, I think. I guess he's only getting healed for like 10% of what he'd usually get healed for. Like 250 would be unacceptable, but the movement is so janky here.
You think this is a victory?
And I didn't need to bring any food. It. Speak to Brill at the war table. Oh, Sir, you had a bad time. Thanks for the help. Done? That's it? I feel like all of these end really abruptly. Ambassador's dead. Did I ever tell you you're amazing? Nowhere near enough. Wonder why they didn't like deliver on that whole idea that she was going crazy. Did they like cut content there or something? Cannabis really should be in this quest. It's really inappropriate. Okay. Quest complete, I guess. You'll hear my thoughts in a second. The 10% damage reduction is going to make a big difference when I try the Ambassador for real, I think. Curse of the Blackstone is analogous to Night at the Theater in old school RuneScape in that it's a quest that's really about just getting you to do all of the elite dungeons. It provides some story context for the dungeons that build up into the Ambassador. But because I had never actually cleared any of the elite dungeons in any mode, I had to do all of them during this quest, and so it took me like 4 hours to complete. Although it was a huge hassle to complete, I'm glad that they had something to tie together the through line of the 3 dungeons, because I did not realize that all 3 elite dungeons are about the same thing. They're all about the black stone obsidian stuff and like the, Eldritch Lovecraft god from Pieces of Hate of all quests. I guess I've called RuneScape a Monkey Island MMO, so having the conclusion of a goofy Monkey Island quest be like the cornerstone of your storytelling is sure, that could work. To summarize, Temple of Amnesia is about rescuing Siryu, one of the gods of the Ark. Siryu is the Japanese name for the azure serpent in Chinese mythology, and if you've ever played Japanese video games, you've probably seen these guys mentioned all the time. The deal is that he's a big blue water dragon and that he's been brainwashed by the Black Stones. The dungeon is full of cultists who summon Crassians from the Agaroth quest. And then Siryu himself is a pretty cool boss fight, actually. It's one of the better boss fights in RS3. I've largely been unimpressed with what I've seen, especially in quests. He feels like a pretty solid WoW raid boss, right? The whole deal is that he has too much health for you to kill him, but you can knock him out occasionally and then climb on his neck and try to destroy the black crystals on the collar on his neck while keeping slimes from healing them. All 3 of these elite dungeons kind of end with a whimper, like you beat the boss and then it's just kind of over. There's no final cutscene or anything with the first clear. Siryu thanks you though after Temple of Amnesia, and then you have to go on to the Dragonkin Laboratory. Now this is a part of the quest that I really dislike, and it all involves Hannibus. One of a Kind was basically the only Sliske's game quest that I enjoyed. I thought it was pretty good. It felt like a neat little standalone episodic story that slotted into the Sliske stuff. But One of a Kind carried on the tradition at the time of giving the player a moral choice, which of course this quest has to completely disregard. Similar to the Zanuck thing where they had to pick the stupid option as the canon option, I think they did the same thing here. Your choice at the end of One of a Kind is, do you let Karapak experiment on Hannibus, or do you send him to die as a warrior with his people on Iaia? I chose to send him to die. It was very tearful. It was very nice. And now he's just back for no reason. They added one conditional line of dialogue if you sent him back to Iaia where he's like, yeah, I guess I'm back now, whatever. The stuff with Hannibus is fine. We go talk to the King Black Dragon again, which that's cool, I guess, but I don't think it's worth undercutting that quest to do it. We recruit Vindicta and Gorvek and learn that Hannibus is Vindicta's dad. Okay. That would have worked just fine if Hannibus was dead. It might have actually have worked better if Hannibus was dead. And then the actual Dragonkin Laboratory dungeon is pretty cool. It's mostly dragons. The first boss is one of my favorite bosses in RuneScape 3. I think it's really well designed. We'll see how many bosses when I get to endgame PVMing feel like this guy, but he reminds me of a World of Warcraft boss, and he's what I was expecting when I came into RS3 all blind and naive and hoping that it was going to be a huge upgrade for the PVM content. The first boss is kind of the minimum of what I was looking forward to. It took them a while to get there because pretty much every other EOC quest boss up to this point has been don't stand next to him when he says a thing. It ends with a sequence where you encounter a bunch of gem dragons like an onyx dragon and a dragonstone dragon and a bunch of hydrix dragons. and concludes with fighting the Black Stone Dragon. So it's a dragon that's, I don't know, infused with the obsidian from Pieces of Hate. So now both of the final bosses in the first 2 Elite dungeons have featured that giant black hand thing from Pieces of Hate. That's really an important through line in all of these quests. The third part of the quest is setting up Shadow Reef and fighting the Ambassador. I suspect that almost all of their effort went into this part, and they kind of just added the Temple of Amanishi and Dragonkin Laboratory stuff as like an obligate thing. They probably should have released an introduction quest for those 2 dungeons when they first came out, but I'm guessing they just didn't think of it or didn't have time for it at the time. But it definitely feels like the Shadow Reef setup part of Curse of the Black Stone is the part that they spent most of their time on. I'm kind of torn on this because I think what they're going for is really interesting. They're like trying to set up the threat of the Ambassador. They're doing a globe-trotting team building thing, which is always neat. But this quest has a lot of J-mods on it, and I suspect that they worked on their pieces kind of separate from each other because the quest has a really serious tone issue, in my opinion. Like, RuneScape's pretty good at doing something serious and then making jokes all throughout it. That's like, you know, that's what RuneScape is. That's fine. But there's a part of the story where a Black Knight lady in the Taverley dungeon asks you to go, like, find out what's going on with her sister at the Black Knight's fortress. And you find out that she's been kicked out of the Black Knights, had her tongue cut out, and made into a slave. That's pretty fucking dark, and that's okay. You can do something like that that's dark, but at the same time, they're doing this, like, gag where she has, like, a talking suit of possessed armor. And when you find out that she's a slave, apparently, according to the quest guide, you can get out of, like, rescuing her by lying to her sister and saying that she's fine, which I think it might be the most evil choice that the player can make in all of RuneScape 3, maybe excluding killing Xanac for no reason. It's really weird, it's really uncomfortable, and it immediately follows a quest where you're trying to save Steve the Seagull's marriage. So, yeah, I don't know. I think the way to go with this quest was to trend a little bit less serious, which they do a good job with, to be honest. This quest is not God Slop. The gods don't show up at all. And one of my big problems with the Sliske's game series is that it took itself so seriously. And this one is a little bit better at kind of like joking about the fact that we have to save the world again. Like it's a difficult needle to thread, but I think it pulls it off for the most part. But I really think that the whole slave who had her tongue cut out thing should have hit the cutting room floor. They maybe should have saved that for like a needle skips kind of quest where it's like very much focused on that serious thing and doesn't immediately follow a sequence about saving a seagull's marriage. I feel like I must have missed something during the quest because at the end you fight the ambassador and there's no like special version of the fight where you see all the people that you acquired to help you fight him. Maybe they're on like the edges of the arena, or this was something they originally intended for the fight and then cut or something, but it's not there. One of the things you have to do is you have to get Myrtle from Beneath Cursed Tides to give you a water breathing potion so that you can breathe underwater for the dungeon. So it's kind of funny that the dungeon doesn't require Curse of the Black Stone to attempt. That kind of thing, I love that shit. I love when RuneScape does that, where like we're going to revisit an NPC from a prior quest and they're going to help you do something that's relevant to what they did in the previous quest. It's stupid, it's simple, but it's cool. So it's annoying that you can just load into the dungeon without doing this quest. This quest has like no prerequisites. It requires impressing the locals, which is nothing, 12 agility and 34 woodcutting. I mean, the quest itself requires you to complete dungeons on story mode, but story mode is so easy and you could probably run it with like one other person if you really needed to. I honestly can't tell you why they didn't make this a prerequisite for ED3. I feel like a lot of RuneScape 3 decisions are like appealing to a mythical player. Like Jagex Corporate imagines this player who wants to log in and do ED3 immediately, but not really recognizing like what would actually have to go into an account being prepared to do ED3 with other players. I'll talk about this mythical player problem more in the essay, but it is strange. The ambassador fight's pretty cool. I'm glad this quest exists because it explains who the heck Seryu is when he shows up out of nowhere at the end of the fight. It's not so out of nowhere if you do this quest. And then once you defeat him, like many quests, it just kind of ends, and that's it. I would say overall this quest is fine. There's a couple points that make it weird that bring it down from being good to being mid, in my opinion. They really didn't need to bring back Hannibus. I think that was a bad decision. I wish that the characters you recruit in the back third of the quest actually show up during the ambassador fight. And the story about the Black Knight slave girl is a fine story, but it shouldn't have been in this quest, I don't think. That'll wrap things up here. Next week, I should be able to finish all of the remaining 2019 quests, so that's Desperate Times and a couple mini quests. This is somewhat notable, but next week's episode is going to be when I start encountering content that was added to RS3 after I started playing RuneScape in general. I started playing old school RuneScape in August of 2019, so I think that'll be interesting to see, and it'll inform my commentary going forward. This is all still like, past content for me up to this point. Thank you as always for watching, and I'll see you next week. Bye.